If you're in business, you probably have a website, but can your site handle your growth? How many visitors before your site slows down or crashes? What about storage and data security? From web hosting to virtual servers, Pair Networks provides the online infrastructure you need to start, grow, and flourish. When it comes to security and updates, don't worry, we've got you covered. Our 24/7 US-based customer support is the best in the industry. No frustrating chatbots or sitting on hold for hours. Check out pair.com today to learn more. That's PAIR.com.
So Lizzie, when she first discovered TV Odyssey, she was obviously a kid, and it was around the time when she discovered she's probably a bit of a night owl, and she finally got confidence to sneak to the downstairs TV room to watch TV after her parents had gone to bed. So she turned it on, and the first thing that popped up was The Last Frontier, which was a cheap sci-fi show with puppets. So this is the first show she watched on TV Odyssey and slowly became obsessed, and just every night would sneak down to watch what else was playing.
Is there anything that influences Lizzie today? She still remembers this and it's part of her, like, it's like a core memory from her growing up?
Probably the alien puppets. I feel like that's what inspired her to pursue her studies in human geography.
Well, welcome to Dungeon Punks. I'm Leigh Eldridge, and with me today are
Phil Cieplak. I am playing Nathan Schroeder.
Stu Popp. I'm playing Epoch. Kirk Hamilton playing Peter Black.
And I'm Mel Shim playing Lizzie Bardot.
Last episode, we were investigating the house at 18 Escondido Street, and you have found quite a number of clues. You have 8 clues so far. Nothing too spooky has happened yet, but I'm just going to do a little recap of the clues that you've found. We did have some that we didn't detail last time, so if you listened to our last episode and you're like, I don't know what all those clues are, that's okay. We're going to tell you. We've also found 3 Odyssey tapes, which will come into it today. So the clues that you've heard about, we found a random number sequence in the phone book. Inside one of the Odyssey tapes in the video case, there was a scorch mark in the shape of antlers. There was a dog-eared copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe inside the grandfather clock, where we found another Odyssey tape, which I believe was Blam, Everybody Blam. And then the clues that we haven't talked about yet. Phil's character Nathan was down in the basement investigating the breaker to see if we could turn the power on, which did not succeed. However, he did find a strange residue on the wall that glowed. Kirk's character Peter was looking through some boxes and found a smashed mirror in one of those boxes. It looks like all the pieces of the mirror are there. It's kind of strange. Stu and Mel's characters were looking through Elliot's bedroom, and then once Ep went to go get some snacks from the Circle K, Lizzie kept looking around. So Ep found a photo album labeled Summer Camp 93, which was empty except for the last page, which has photos of the night sky, and that was found under Elliot's bed. And then Lizzie found in Elliot's room behind the bookcase a realistically rendered door painted on the wall. And then in one of the other rooms, which remains, you guys can decide which room it was in, a stash of comic books in an unusual place with cute messages written between 2 people. And that's everything we found so far. You also did come across a 3rd Odyssey tape, which I'm going to say was labeled Visit Starlight Kingdom. And if you know anything from the forums, you'll know that it was a commercial for a local theme park that never opened. Very spooky. So what we're going to do, we pretty much wrapped up the day phase last time, and then you came back together in the TV room to potentially watch one of these Odyssey tapes on the mysteriously still on VCR, even though the power in the house does not work. So we're going to do the dusk phase right now, which is kind of an intermediary phase between day and night. We're just supposed to perform these steps in order. So if there are any moves that need to be resolved during the dusk phase, we would do that now. I don't think any of your moves... do that. We did Mel's flashback at the top of the episode for the key that you marked, one of the keys of the child. So now the players, it's you guys, are going to collectively decide if you're going to watch an Odyssey tape.
Yes.
I think you should.
I think so.
That's why we got snacks.
I mean, we're going to try at least.
Yeah, we're going to pop it in the VCR and see what happens.
Although I grab the bag of hot Cheetos and I'm like, I'm ready.
You asked for so much stuff. You have like a separate like plastic bag.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, so you can watch I Want My Video Beat, a show that plays music videos. People who remember Video Beat can never quite recall the names of any of the bands or songs that were featured on the show. Blam 03, Everybody Blam, for an educational show for kids, or Visit Starlight Kingdom.
You can just go chronologically. We found the Video Beat one first.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like Lizzie would probably push for the Video Beat one.
This tape is an episode of Video Beat, a show that plays music videos. People who remember Video Beat can never quite recall the names of any of the bands or songs featured on the show, only that they were really obscure. In fact, the bands do not exist and have never existed. Any attempt by the Latchkeys to do an internet search for the bands featured in this episode will fail to find any information at all. The episode opens with the host and VJ, Raygun Rosales, breakdancing in a room decorated with Memphis design wallpaper and chairs. Raygun's shtick is to announce the name of the upcoming video and then blast the screen with his Raygun fingers, an action accompanied by cheesy laser blaster sound, at which point the screen fades to white and the video plays. So we have an idea what we're going to be doing in the night phase. The night phase can regularly play out in different ways depending on whether we're watching an Odyssey tape, but we are, in fact, watching an Odyssey tape. So, who's got number 1?
That's me.
All right. You guys are gathered around this VCR, and you're like, okay, here goes. And you put the tape in. It whirs in. Little hatch closes. And somehow, even though there's no power, the TV flicks on.
Okay.
Spooky.
And it starts playing. We see Raygun Rosales goes pew pew. And
Here's the first video.
Yeah.
The video fades to white, and then a kind of funky, a little bit sultry R&B song starts. This is a song which I guess it's got to have the like in the corner.
Oh, the little
like the little who it's by and what have you. The song is called Puss in Boots by the Meow Meow Meows. And yeah, it's like a funky, slightly sultry song. And as the music video plays, you get the vibe with the narrative. It's a little bit weird, but you get the narrative that like one of the, probably like the lead singer of the band is like getting close with cats. And there's like another scene where he starts putting like cat fur on his body and like starts gluing it. And it kind of like reminds us a little bit of like the movie Cats.
Which comes out in 20 years.
Yeah. That's where they got the idea from.
Yeah. Or no, wait, no, it's not. What's the one where they are like cat? They turn into cats.
They turn into cats.
Yeah.
I think it's just called Cat People.
Cat People.
The 1970s B horror movie by Val Lewton. Cat People?
Yeah, so not cats.
Not cats.
No, it's
like,
earlier than that. It's like 40s,
Was it
I
60s?
think. I think it's 40s.
No,
it's like
there's
a
a
black
like
and white.
70s weird one.
Oh, I think that's a remake. There's like an original, like...
Maybe that is 40s. Anyway, the original was by Val Lewton. I know that for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, so it's kind of like Cat People, where he's like trying to become a cat, and where he is a cat, and he's like putting on his Puss in Boots, and he's like putting on fur onto his thing, and there's like this weird scene where he becomes a cat, and it's just like this cat getting like a little frisky with another cat, and it's like we're like, what is happening here?
Okay, that's really weird. One of you hits pause on the VCR and you're like, wow, okay. I think, so each time we're going to go through a different latchkey scene. So I think at this point, Lizzie is like, you know what? I can't eat these snacks out of this bag. Like I need some vessels. So you're going to head to the kitchen.
Yes.
There's a small kitchen with a bar window that looks directly into the dining room, Wedgwood blue trestle table set for dinner, oak cabinets, and speckled formica countertops. Based on what was left out, name one thing that was on the dinner table or on the dinner menu on the day that Rappaports disappeared.
Probably some mashed potatoes.
Some mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to add anything?
It's like the box of instant mashed potatoes that's just sitting on the counter.
Sure.
I mean, depending on what time they disappeared, there might even be food still on the table.
Yeah, I was gonna say the box is there. There's like the glass bowl that they'd be using to like mix the hot water in with it, and it's like half filled, and it looks like a little bit spilled. And there's like the opened packet is just on the ground next to the counter.
Yeah,
Like half empty, a little bit spilled out.
I would like to add on to it that it's like it's not. They were like in the middle of making dinner.
Oh, okay. So everything's kind of like half made.
Yeah.
Like if you looked in the oven, there's like a pot roast in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. Not pot roast, but like 10-year-old pot roast in the oven. Yeah, you want to look for some bowls, right?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna open everything.
Had a thought just through the pot roast thing.
Yeah.
If it was in the oven, it would have been cooking. So it's like just a blackened, charred pot roast. And the like window of the oven is charred in that antler pattern.
Yeah.
Spooky. Okay, well, Lizzie is a little bit spooked, so she's gonna go really quickly, and she's gonna open up all the things.
Bad news for you, Lizzie.
No.
You've seen that antler pattern again, and that creeped you out last time, so I'm gonna need you to make the night move.
Okay.
I need you to tell me what you're afraid is gonna happen if you fail.
I am afraid that a ghost is gonna pop out. What's worse than a ghost? Is that the worst thing? Should I do something less?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I can make that worse. You're afraid that a ghost is going to pop out of somewhere. It's worse than that.
Zombie deer.
I was thinking of zombies. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to run with that. An undead or somehow changed deer is going to
burst out of the oven.
Straight out of the oven. Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's some kind of funky
That's
portal
weird
in
deer
there.
legs unfolding as it gets out of the oven.
Yeah, exactly that. That's what's going to happen.
It doesn't burst out of the oven. It crawls out of the oven like the girl from The Ring.
Oh, and then it goes. Oh,
Yep.
Scary.
You still want to roll?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool.
I definitely want to do. Oh, 6.
Do a thing.
So I'm going to narrate what happens if you keep this failure.
Okay.
Lizzie is rifling through cupboards right next to the stove. And you start hearing this like tap, 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 bang, bang. And the stove is rattling and the door is like jumping. And then all of a sudden it bangs open. And this weird like deer creature that's like rotting, there's flesh falling off its face, starts like unfolding itself from the oven. And it reaches out with its gross half human hands, half deer hooves, and grabs you and pulls you into the oven.
Oh my God.
So if you don't want that to happen,
I would like to not have that happen.
please,
It's like, no, I'll roll with it.
please turn a key.
Okay. How about a flashback to the moment when I realized childhood wasn't forever?
Sure. We can keep that for a little bit later if you want, if you don't have an idea for now.
I have an idea of what it could be.
But because you turned a key, I'm going to say that you still hear this weird like tapping noise inside the oven, but you muster up your courage and you open it and a rat scurries out.
I still yelp.
How do you feel about that?
I am petrified.
Okay.
And I stop my search and I run back to the TV room.
Okay. I'm also going to give you a condition
Okay.
that is marked by the deer creature.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't come out yet, but
It will.
what's funny is like I happen to know that weird deer pop up a lot in these kind of games, like literally the Brindlewood Bay games. Weird deer. It's a thing that's going to happen to everybody. Okay, so you head back to the TV room. Everyone else is still there, ready to go.
You all right?
No.
Press play.
Yeah, you hit play, and video number 2 pops up.
All right. So the second video is from a band called Copenhagen, but they are weirdly from Berlin. They are a soft rock band. So picture flowy white shirts, soft like soap opera lighting. And I think it's just like the band in like a black box theater singing a song called Pillow Whispering. So it starts with whispering like, "Oh baby, I love you so much. This song is for you. My love.
I hate it already.
Even worse that it's in a German accent.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I love you so much. This song is for you.
My love is eternal. Just for you.
Before you get to the last bit of the prompt, is the entire song just in whispers?
Yes, it is. The song is just whispering things you would to your pillow pal, I guess. And so the video was shot in a city that doesn't exist anywhere on Earth but feels vaguely European. It's kind of like, you know, in They Live, like it's just kind of strange. And then you put on those sunglasses and then they're actually not humans. So I feel like the band's in a black box theater and then they're just like shots of, let's say, I don't know, everyone in the band just has like someone that they're whispering to in the video, like, and they're like tourists in this weird city. And then sometimes you'll see someone put their sunglasses down and then there'll be shots of like an alien face like on the other people walking around.
Like subliminal messaging, or
yeah.
you actually see it?
Just for like a frame.
Yeah, it's just like a flash. And then that, so you think, oh, is so when you pause it, you can see it, but in the moment you're like, did I actually see it or not? So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. After watching that, that was pretty strange. You press pause. And let's see. Stu, you wanted Ep to go outside to the backyard,
Yes.
right?
I just want to check out these photos I found in the photo album and see if I can line them up against the like actual night sky.
Okay. So you wander into the backyard. It's actually a pretty big backyard. You wander past the pool. There's a stand of trees there, a copse of tall ponderosa pines. Grass around them is kind of yellowing. Sticky pine needles get stuck to your shoes. Something about the trees makes you think the evil in this place is in the land. What is it?
Ooh, I think all the trees just sort of like seem to be like twisted and gnarled together. Like the branches kind of from one tree like all seem to like gnarl together with another tree.
Do you think maybe they form
Yeah, I think so.
antlers?
Yeah.
Okay. You think Ep would be freaked out by that, or he's just like, whatever?
No, I've still got like decent composure.
Okay.
And I kind of maybe only see it in like passing as I'm really focusing on the sky.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Give me a meddling move, please.
Right.
You can add, I think you can add reason, because you're looking at the sky.
I got a 6. So
Okay.
I'm going to turn a key,
Okay, cool.
which is I'm now turning the wandering monolith, which means
Gotcha.
I can now seek out the big man.
You got 7 to 9. So you are able to see that the stars in the photos don't seem to line up with anything in this sky, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could be maybe they were from the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
You don't know. I don't know if you know anything about the stars in the southern hemisphere. It could also be something else, but you are going to get a clue. Under one of the trees, you notice it kind of half sticking out of the dirt, but as you kneel down and you scrape away the sticky pine needles and the dirt, you find a set of gardening tools that are caked with dirt and blood. You also hear the gate creak open,
Yeah, I'll take a look.
and there is Patient's head.
Suspicious.
She has showed up again, and she doesn't look quite right. There's something strange about her face. You kind of turn your head a little bit, and like something shifts as you look at her from different angles. She's not saying anything. She's just creaked the gate open, and she's just standing there in the gateway looking at you. Most of her face is in shadow, but somehow you can just see this like illumination on her eyes. So you can tell that she's looking at you. You know, like in those scenes in old movies where they've just illuminated someone's eyes, like Dracula. She's just looking at you. And I'm going to need you to make the night move.
What do I add to the night move? Composure?
It's going to be composure, but first, before you roll, I need you to tell me what you're afraid is going to happen if you fail or lose your nerve. And then I'm going to tell you how it's worse.
Okay. Having just watched those 2 videos, I think I'm afraid that she is going to, like, when she comes out of the shadows, because I can really see her like eyes right now, that she's going to have like the weird Gonna be like a weird mix between the like zombie alien thing that's like the them and cats. But I'm not thinking about cat people. I'm thinking about Cats, the Broadway musical.
Okay.
Memories.
It is worse than that. It's not
It's
just
the movie.
Yeah, she's going to turn into Rum Tum Tugger from the movie
Jason
Cats.
Derulo.
But it's the butthole
So
cat.
much worse than I could have imagined.
I couldn't remember. I just picked the first cat I could think of. No, it's actually worse because instead of just her face that's going to transform into an alien cat thing, her entire body, she's going to turn into a cat person with an alien face. And she is going to move faster than any animal should possibly be able to move, and she's going to come attack you and bite you on the back of the neck like a puma. And
Puma.
she's going to drag you up into a tree to eat you.
Okay.
So do you still want to roll, or do you want to just run for the house?
I want to do something in a way that lets me consult the big man, but I can't figure out what that would be. So I think,
I don't know if we could get to the big man at this point. I mean, he might show up.
well, I can
Just give him a call.
I can make contact with him. I have that ability now.
Okay.
I figured I might just like be on like an old cell phone that I have or something.
Okay. You guys haven't actually met the big man yet. So I don't, even though you have marked that, I don't think that you know to contact him.
Okay.
You have moved a little bit faster than we would normally move in this. But, so that was the
I'll save it
wandering
for
monolith?
a bit more. Yeah, the wandering monolith.
Okay.
Anyways, I think I will just run for the house.
Okay. So I'm not going to make you roll for that. I'm going to say that you can just get there. And Patient's head is left standing in the darkness at the side of the house.
Is she staring at the house?
She might be now.
You all right, man? It's just patience again. Press play on the video.
The third video plays.
That is me. After Mr. Raygun introduces the third video, the little chyron on the bottom left pops up. The band is called The Ulterior, and the song is called Saturday, You and Me. It's a new wave song, tons of synth, but something's a little off about The Ulterior. Like I said, it's a very synthy song. The music video has them standing kind of on the sidewalk of a city. It is a very recognizable city. Let's say it's New York, with all their gear up and with them. And every few minutes, the scene changes, but they don't change. So it's kind of like film like that. But there's a couple of weird things about them. Every member of the band looks familiar, but you can't place it and you can't explain how they look familiar. And if you try to say like, oh, doesn't this person look like Zachary Ty Bryan? Somebody else is like, no, they look like Marc-Paul Glossier. Everyone kind of has a different thought of what they look like. And in the video, all of the stuff on the background in the streets is filmed properly and it's moving properly and smoothly. But every member of the band is moving a little jerky. Like if you remove every second frame from a video, that kind of like jerky movement. And it doesn't look like special effects. The video's too low budget for them to have done that in post.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're robots.
Mm-hmm.
They had to remove like a frame every once in a while just to get the song under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's actually a 10-minute song.
So you press play, or press pause, rather. Nathan, you just drank a lot of soda. as
I
you were
don't
sitting
feel
here.
good.
And you had a lot of snacks, and so you head to the bathroom.
Too much sodium for me.
Sodium.
I don't have a paint the scene prompt for the bathroom, but you go in and it is your typical suburban house bathroom. There are 2 sinks, so you think this was probably the kids' bathroom, and they got one of those 2 double sink things so they didn't have to share because they would always fight. The mirror's kind of like dusty and cloudy. There is a tub with a shower curtain that is closed. There is no light in here.
Okay.
The toilet paper is hung backwards, and that's the most terrifying thing of all.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
All the fixtures are avocado.
I 100% bring the flashlight with me just because like I'm going to need some light in the bathroom.
Yeah. You had a lantern or you had your camcorder?
Yeah, I'll just bring the lantern. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wander into the bathroom. I have like a little hand sanitizer with me that I carry almost at all times. So I'm just like sanitizing the toilet seat
Oh,
because like I got to take a poop.
It's a number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hand wave that.
Oh, sorry. Is that an X?
We can just fade to black for that. However, once you've finished your business and you go to wash your hands, there's still water.
Okay.
So you're standing in front of this mirror and you notice that the mirror is a little dusty. You maybe want to get a better look at yourself. And you start to swipe at it. And there's like something there in the mirror. There's a image that's starting to resolve itself in the mirror. And as you look at it, you're just staring at it, the water's running. It starts to look like something that you fear. What is it?
Something that I fear.
Perhaps your greatest fear?
My greatest fear. You know what? I'm going to go with clowns. The Joker
Classic.
is pretty creepy.
Yep.
I didn't love the Joker.
Yeah. Well, you were a big fan of Batman the Animated Series.
Mhm.
So it starts to look like the Joker from the animated series. And it starts to look like he's reaching out of the mirror
Uh-huh.
at you. Please make the night move.
Do I have to describe?
What you fear is going to happen if you fail.
It's going to be Jack Nicholson. Just Jack Nicholson.
It's just Jack Nicholson.
No, it's going to be Jared Leto.
Oh, no.
No, that's the worse. That's the
That-
make it worse. He doesn't know why that's bad yet.
Yeah, that would be an anachronism.
He's going to be Jordan Catalano from My So-Called Life. That's great.
Nah, he's kind of an asshole in that too.
I mean, I suppose what would be bad is like he just grabs me and like pulls me into the mirror or something.
Okay. It's worse
Mm-hmm.
because he will grab you and pull you into the mirror, but then the mirror will start sucking in everything else in the house. And then the house. And then the neighborhood. It's going to turn into some kind of like black hole portal that just pulls in everything.
So I have the option to roll.
Yep. You can back down, although
So what is the benefit of making this roll?
fun.
Fun. Because this is freaky. Some clown
Yeah.
reaching out from,
I'm trying to think of a way to make this like a thing that you
yeah, like,
could back, like, I guess if you want to keep, it looks, okay, here it is. I got it. It looks like he has something in his hand
mhm.
and he's reaching towards you,
Okay.
but you can either, if you wanted to make the night move and roll, you can grab what's in his hand. If you fail,
Yeah,
he's going to grab you too.
Now we're talking. I'm going to go for it. I got the lantern and I'm just going to like try to swipe what's from his hand and book it out the door.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a roll. I'm going to ask you to do composure.
Okay.
You have no conditions?
Nope.
Do you want to mark anything to try and... Can you mark your Batman outfit?
You have it on underneath your clothes at all times.
It's like, this is the time for it.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Okay. I stare at the clown Joker reaching out for me and like something catches my eye in his hand and I just like unbutton like a bit of my like brown button-up shirt and underneath there's like the bat logo and I just go, I'm Batman.
I am vengeance.
Okay, go for it. You
And
can roll with advantage
Oh.
plus composure.
7 + 1, 8.
Okay, that is a mixed success. So I'm going to give you, you do grab the thing. I am going to give you another clue. But I'm going to say that you lose something in the process. So you can choose something that you lose somehow in this bathroom.
Your bladder.
My bladder, my dignity.
He already peed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to suggest my lantern, but like that doesn't feel strong enough.
I mean, I guess you could leave the lantern in here, but I do want it to be like an imposition to you.
Yeah.
You can I can either give you a condition or you can lose one of your items.
Maybe a condition.
I'm going to say that you are,
Joker-fied. Yeah.
yeah, Joker-fied. Why not?
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but you have it now.
The big smile.
He comes back.
Nathan
he's
comes
like,
back and he's smiling.
Yeah.
Hey man, are you all right?
And I'm also going to give you,
Press play.
Hold up a minute. You got from the Joker, it's a photo. And it's a family photo of the Rappaports. And there's a third child in it.
Oh, a third evil child. That third child is always evil. Was it the middle child?
Maybe. I don't know. You guys can decide.
Oh no, I know what I have to do.
Yeah, so Nathan comes back from the bathroom. He's got this weird grin on his face, and he's also holding this photo. But you can hit play on the VCR. And the last video plays.
So the fourth and final video is from a band called Pyramid. We think it's a band. It just says Pyramid. The song is called Embrace the Void. And there's not music. It just shows. It looks like it's a recording from the like opening sequence of the Twilight Zone. It's just that door on a night sky. It's the same night sky as the photo. And it just keeps looping that like little bit before the door opens. But it also seems like the door is maybe like slowly getting closer. And the audio isn't from the show. The audio is just like yet to be popularized by Christopher Nolan sounds, just that like increasing drone.
That just never.
That like the tension drone of like as a scene like ramps up in tension, it just like keeps getting like more and more intense.
No likey.
The
Lizzie,
tape
no
stops
likey.
playing and the TV turns off.
Ugh.
Okay.
Kirk, you have one thing to do.
Peter is going to look he was in the basement and on the main floor, but he hasn't been upstairs yet.
There is no upstairs. It's a rancher.
Oh, okay. Oh, he hasn't been to like the bedrooms yet.
You just went to... Oh, yeah, you didn't go to any of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But on his way there, he spots the ladder to go up to the attic
Attic, yeah.
and decides to go up to the attic.
Okay. I also don't have a prompt for the attic.
No.
You spot this ladder up into the attic kind of crawl space. It's not a true attic. It is more of a crawl space.
Mhm.
There's just like storage, extra stuff. Maybe this is where the family kept the rest of their Christmas decorations or like old toys they weren't playing with and that kind of thing. Fishing rods. So
Bottles and cans.
yeah, just weird random stuff up here. What do you want to do up in the attic?
I want to look for whatever I can find. Go push past the boxes, see what's up there. Go looking through some stuff. Because once Nathan came back with the family photo,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if there's any old photo albums up there, any other traces or evidence of this third child.
Mm-hmm. Ep already found a photo album, but it
Oh,
only
that's
had
right, the summer
a
camp.
couple of photos in the last page of the night sky.
Night sky, yeah. Specifically family photo albums, I guess.
Mhm. Okay.
Or just, not even necessarily photo albums, but any sort of evidence of this other child.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like, you probably have to crouch up
Mhm.
here because it's like not a true attic. It's just a crawl space.
I took the lantern after Nathan came back.
Yeah. You have that thing where you can look into the dark, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to make you make a night move.
Okay.
But roll a meddling move with, I guess, reason.
Okay. 13 again.
Jesus Christ. Hot dice.
I know. I want to do a key.
You are looking through the random stuff that's up here and you don't find an Odyssey tape. However, you do stumble across an old newspaper clipping from Christmas Day 1962. This is not a clue. This is the result of your 12 plus.
Okay.
This is unusual history about
Unusual history,
Degoya County. Yeah. So you find this old newspaper clipping from Christmas Day 1962. And it says that nearly every occupant of every home on Murphy Street in Rio Canyon disappears without a trace. Over 250 people. No bags are packed, no cars are missing, and in most cases, Christmas dinner was still in the oven. The only person accounted for on Murphy Street was little Tommy Vallejo, who police found carefully unwrapping his presents near his family's Christmas tree.
Okay.
Creepy children.
Remind me, we found the Christmas decorations in the basement.
There was a Christmas tree down there.
There was a Christmas tree down
Yeah.
there, but it wasn't like there weren't Christmas decorations out. It was clearly not Christmas time.
No.
Okay.
You also find... Okay, this is really weird to find up here, but there is a hopscotch pattern
Ooh.
on the boards of the attic crawl space drawn. And where the 10 should be at the top, there's that same antler pattern. So that's your clue.
Okay. When I look at it, there's like no space to stand up there?
Correct.
It's the same height as the rest of the thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of those peaked attic things, and it's like, kind of half hidden. So a mysteriously preserved hopscotch diagram featuring the antlers where the tent should be. So that happens, and you wander back downstairs.
Yep.
Or back down from the attic, back to the TV room. And you have a lot of clues. You've watched your Odyssey tape. All you need to do is decide what happened to the Rappaports and go tell Casey.
I'd like to do one thing before we answer the question. I would like to try and consult with the big man. I have an idea for this. I picked up a burner cell phone at the Circle K. And I've just been, since I haven't moved since watching the pyramid thing with the door. And I think I've just been putting in that number that we found in the phone book.
Okay.
And I hit send and...
You hit send on the phone and you don't hear a dial tone. You hear that weird sound from the video in the last video. And it gets louder and louder and louder, and then it stops.
When it stops?
Right when it stops,
Nope.
You hear the doorbell.
Okay, I'll go answer the door.
Standing at the door is a very, very large man. He is, I don't know how tall you guys are, but whoever's the tallest, he's taller than that. He's wearing this yellow suit, the color of good butter, and a cowboy hat, and he's holding a cigarette. He's leaning kind of against the door frame, and he says, you rang?
I think the question that's been in Ep's mind, because of the weird door you found and the door in the video, he says, how do I open the door?
Big man takes another drag on his cigarette, and he says,
I roll? I consult.
Yeah, is there a roll for
Yeah,
that?
so it's when you consult with the big man like he's any other side character, roll a sensitivity.
Oh, yeah, go
And
for
they
it.
can gain clues or disappear forever.
Okay.
Whoa, I succeeded on something. It's still just a 9.
Okay.
So I gain 1 clue, and he reveals it in a way that reflects his current disposition.
Okay. So the big man, I forgot a key detail. He's wearing a bolo tie with a thing the shape of the sun. And he's in a fairly affable mood. So he takes another drag of his cigarette and he says, y'all just gotta knock harder.
Okay, I've just a thought thematically. I might turn another key to get a second clue to make it a 10+.
Okay.
Because I have an idea of what happens when I then go to knock on the door, which is actually the thing that turning the other key does.
Okay, you're marking the chromatic desert?
Or in the chromatic desert.
Okay. So on a 10+, what happens?
I just get a second clue. You get 2 clues instead of 1
2
clue.
clues. Okay, so the clue that he actually gives you after he enigmatically says to knock harder, he gives you a crowbar.
Okay.
And you remember that when you went to look at this picture of the door, there was actually scratches around it, which were signs of forcible entry, carefully hidden after the fact. And as you're talking to him, he says, because you've marked the chromatic desert now, I'm going to give you a choice. Because you've marked the chromatic desert, technically you should disappear right now.
Well, I was going to walk up
But,
to the door.
Yeah, if you
and
want
knock 3 times and then disappear.
If you want to do that, you can do that. So as you're talking to him, something about his manner changes a little bit. And he says, he takes another drag on his cigarette. It's weird that the cigarette never seems to be going down. It's not burning away. He just keeps smoking it. But it's something about he just looks a little bit sad. And he says, that's too bad.
I'll see you real soon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. Yeah, I guess I'll be seeing you real soon. And he turns and walks away.
I think I leave the front door open. I'm just kind of mindlessly holding this crowbar now. Walk out into the bedroom.
Do any of you notice? Did you go to the door with Ep? Did you notice
No,
what was going on?
Absolutely not.
Okay, you were still.
We didn't hear the door. I didn't hear the doorbell.
You didn't hear the doorbell.
No.
Yeah. Why don't we just say we didn't hear the doorbell?
The rest of you didn't hear the doorbell.
That's kind of what I
like
wanted to
that.
go with.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear the doorbell. Ep just got up for some reason. You guys were kind of starting to discuss. You're looking at this photo, some of the other things that you found, starting to discuss what happened. And Ep comes back from the door and maybe one of you just glances at him and you're like, oh, he's probably just getting more snacks. He's doing something.
He's carrying a crowbar.
He's carrying a crowbar. Does any of you think that that's weird?
Probably
Yes,
not,
but it's like,
especially not after what we've seen tonight.
well, and also it's like, oh, these are people I met on the internet. So
Yeah.
like,
Maybe they just carry crowbars.
Yeah.
He
it's
found,
like-
there's like that little front closet by the door with the little basket of umbrellas, and there was just a crowbar in that probably.
Okay.
That's Peter's thought.
What I'm wondering is, would any of you get up and follow him, or would you just keep discussing and figure he's doing something?
Peter would keep discussing.
Okay.
I think I might kind of get up a
Like,
little bit.
hey,
and
buddy, what are you doing?
I think I might just like sort of tail him a
Can I
little.
give you an idea?
Yeah.
You get the camcorder out and you start filming him.
Okay.
You have this
Maybe you say, "Hey, bud."
something tells you
Yeah.
that you should film this.
Maybe you say, "Hey, buddy," and he doesn't respond, so you just kind of instinctively.
I like the two
Because
of them.
they're using the lantern and you still need the
Yeah.
light, so you
Yeah,
can turn
yeah.
on the camcorder.
You know what? Okay, so how about that? They've got the lantern. They're like huddled around the.
We're trying to put the smashed mirror together.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
say.
And I'm just like, I see in the corner of my eye, Ep kind of like wander down the hallway, and I'm just like, hey, where are you going? And then he just ignores me.
He turns into Elliot's room.
And then he turns into Elliot's room. I'm like, what the heck? And I like go to get up. I'm like, oh yeah, I need a light. And I grab the camcorder and I like turn the camcorder on and I follow.
The moment you turn the camera is the first time I hit the door with the crowbar.
And then, yeah, I'm like basically heading down the hallway with the corridor and then like turn into the bedroom.
I think as you turn into the bedroom, that's the second time you
Yeah.
hit the door.
Mhm.
Gotta knock a little
And-
harder, you know.
That's weird.
Yeah. And then, so I'm kind of not even actively filming it. I
Mhm.
think I'm just using it as a light, but it's on, it's
Mhm.
recording.
hmm
And then, yeah, you hit the thing and I'm like, yo, Ep, what are you doing?
I just like turn like blank faced and like gotta knock a little harder and then swing it a third time. And then you don't remember me
Yeah.
and I'm gone.
oh shit.
So
I think I want to say the crowbar just falls to the ground,
yeah.
Mhm.
and you're just like, "Oh, that's what that noise was."
Yeah. So I kind of want to say do something. So I like, yeah. So basically the crowbar falls to the ground. I kind of almost am startled a little bit
Mhm.
momentarily, as if like I forgot what I was doing here. And then that kind of dawns on me.
What
It's
did I
like,
come
oh,
in here for?
Yeah. It's like, why did I come in here? And then I just see the crowbar, I see the door. I turn around. And as I'm walking back to the room to rejoin my friends, I kind of have an internal thought where I'm just like, oh God, we're going to have to walk all the way back. Too bad no one drove us here. And I rejoin the group.
Okay. So that happened.
I'm still technically in that room.
You're still technically in that room.
Yeah.
By marking the chromatic desert, you can no longer be perceived by other characters and all memory of you is erased. It's like you never existed. You can continue to conduct investigations. However, we're at the end of this mystery and now you need to theorize. The clues you find are only available if you narrate them into an Odyssey tape scene. So it's effectively like Ep is gone,
Yeah.
which means I don't know if I can let you participate
That's
in
fine.
answering the
I
question.
made my bed.
Okay, as long as you're okay with that.
Can Stu participate, or is Stu just cut?
What do you guys think?
I'll let you guys take the lead. I'll throw
Okay.
it if I have like
Okay.
Yeah,
a thought.
If you
or something,
haven't, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw it.
But like maybe just take a back seat. So Nathan comes back to the room
with a crowbar.
with a crowbar, which you still have, and maybe tells you that there was these like dents in the wall, and that's weird. Okay, so we're gonna step back to we're the players now,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have our open freewheeling discussion about the answer to the question, which is what happened to the Rappaports. You have a lot of clues, so you don't have to worry about including them all. Once you reach a consensus, roll plus number of clues incorporated and otherwise explained away -6, which is the complexity, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, my working theory, I'm happy to amend this or change it or whatever. They went through the door and all memory of them were erased. No, that wouldn't work because Wilcox
do know
remembers
about
them.
them.
Yeah,
Casey
we do remember
remembers
them.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind, because that would have explained the photo album.
Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe there's something Casey is special in some way. I don't know. But you could kind of work with that.
Yeah.
Well, but Patience also remembered the family too.
Well, she didn't
Yeah.
necessarily remember them. She just said no one lives here
No one
anymore.
lives here.
Or
Yeah.
no one lives here. Did she say anymore?
Yeah, didn't she say?
I think she just said no one lives here,
Yeah.
but
Oh. Mm.
Another thing I want to say is the smashed mirror has a frame around it, and the frame is kind of ornate and has the same design as the door frame for the painted door.
oh, that's cool. I like
Okay.
that.
We used the random number in the phone book to call the big man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's functionally out.
Yeah, do we want to maybe rule some out first before
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
piece some stuff together? So we have the family photo.
I bet this kid is like an evil antler child.
Antler cat creature.
Yeah, like I don't know, like in those horror movies there's always like the one creepy kid that like is possessed by, I don't know, a scary deer.
Just throw
Yeah.
this out there. It was just a thing. Was that a reminder that there's something wrong with the woods, that the evil was from
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And
Theoretically,
also the front side of the house was nice, but the back side was weird. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad.
I think in character we don't necessarily know, or no, we probably would have talked about that after you came in spooked. Put all the antler ones
Yeah,
together.
probably like actually in fiction you talked about why people were freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of just going,
Okay.
play.
Yeah.
Although maybe you didn't. I don't know.
At the very least, after the video ended,
Mm.
the three of us would have discussed stuff.
So
probably.
here's my theory, or it's not really a theory, but piecing some things together. So there's
Mhm.
the kid, there's like the weird summer camp album. There's also the Witch in the Wardrobe. And I think that belonged to the third kid.
The third kid.
He
Sure.
was like super obsessed with this book, this like idea of going somewhere else.
Mhm.
And like I actually think maybe he painted the doors
Okay.
on the wall.
Mm.
And so he started doing something strange and painted the doors on the wall. And like maybe this creature, this antler thing has some kind of connection to that as well.
He painted the door on the wall and something came through.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that something came through made him start creating this antler pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Not a functional clue for our purposes, but maybe there were like sketchbooks where you just see that over and like, you see in like horror movies or creepy kid movies where they have the sketchbook or the drawing book of the same image over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Like
A ring.
just a whole bunch of antlers in a book. Like this wouldn't count as our clue purposes because I'm just making this up.
Yeah.
But
Just add
as
context.
for flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the third child disappeared. Like
So, the
Our
door
So that would
be-
put the door, the
And-
forcible entry, and the smash mirror if we're going with it has the same frame.
Yeah. You can, yeah, for sure. Casey didn't mention a third kid,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't seem like anybody actually remembers them having a third
Right.
child.
So maybe the
Mhm.
child, something came through the door and then took the child through, and he
Mhm.
went to the chromatic desert.
What about this? What if
No, family photo. So I was noping myself.
yeah. This so
I wasn't like shutting you down.
Perhaps there is a strange anomaly in this case, but what if so he was obsessed with the book, made the door, creature came out, took his
Maybe it's-
family, right? And then afterwards, after his family disappears, he tries to get into the door. And that's why there's the crowbar, the marks that
Right,
he's trying
right.
to break it. He
Mm.
smashes the mirror because he realizes like potentially what he's done. And then in the process of like either trying to reunite with his family or something, that's when he goes to the desert and is,
If I can add something to that, you also did have a weird experience with a mirror
yeah.
in this
Right.
house. So maybe the mirrors
Mm.
are also a potential portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he
And
like-
maybe because it was not somebody walking through willingly, they were taken through. That's where the anomaly comes from, where Casey Wilcox still remembers at least one of the kids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're still in. When actually, that's what when Epoch goes to the chromatic desert, we all forget him.
Yes.
Mhm.
But is all of his existence erased? Like, will photos of him phase out? If we have a group photo, will he no longer be in the photo? Or
That's.
am I asking above?
I
All
think that's
memory
up
of me is
to
erased?
you.
Yeah.
All memory
Okay.
of you.
As
So
if, like I never existed, but that doesn't mean there's not physical evidence.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's all I meant.
So maybe even if
Like,
you guys.
can no longer be perceived by you, which makes me feel like also in like photos you wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to perceive him.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe
It
Even
could
if
be
you
weird,
found a
like
photo-
someone's arm was around someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still in the photo, but like you get that kind of like brain fuzz when somebody looks at your face for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when you're in a dream and you can't
Yeah.
clearly see people's
It's like the
faces.
forgotten god in American Gods.
Yeah.
You just like, as soon as we like, oh yeah, there's a picture of App, and then just like gone out of your brain.
Mhm.
Even if you probably don't even recognize him as a
Yeah.
picture of Ep, it's just like,
It's,
oh,
there's
that's a guy.
that's
Oh,
a guy we
weird.
hung out with, and
Yeah.
then just gone.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then does that kind of contradict the
Mhm.
photo of the third child?
Maybe because we didn't know him. So we look at this photo and we just see 3 children.
Yeah.
And because we haven't forgotten the person,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe we look at the child and we can't remember anything about the child, anything about the child's facial features, but there's 3 distinct children there.
I have a little bit of an idea for you guys. Take it or leave it. Maybe, so after the kid did the thing with the door, the creature took his family. He was trying to get through the door and somehow reconnected with the creature and made a deal that if he gave the creature the memory of him, the creature got to eat his memory, like the memory of him existing, then he could go to where his family is.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like
the
stuff
deal.
in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe about like memories and time being different.
Also, when you get older,
you forget.
Yeah.
Also, this is less fun, but it also could be like the kid just ran away.
I was going to suggest that Casey was the kid, but there's something about like he just wanted the creature to stop, made the deal that Leigh's suggesting, so he doesn't remember anything, and now he's Casey.
Oh, he was adopted, or he was found like maybe on someone's doorstep or something, or he arrived.
Because the Wilcoxes were their neighbors, so he went to their neighbor's house to be like, "Hey, something happened," but like literally on the way.
And then the deal, the deal that was made was that people would forget that he was a Rappaport.
And that he just became a Wilcox essentially.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay, so somebody give me the rundown and which clues you're using.
Okay, so the gardening tools caked with blood is out.
Okay.
The random number sequence is out because we used that for somebody to make a phone call. I don't know what happened there.
You just forget about it. That didn't happen.
The stash of comic books in an unusual place with cute messages between 2 people. That can just be explained away as like 2 kids had the same comic and were writing in it. That's not a clue.
Unless the name, one of the notes is like from Casey.
CR.
Yeah.
Casey Rappaport.
Yeah. Or somebody said one of the notes is like, "Hey Casey, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And then the other note is like, "Okay, what was the other kid's name?"
So
Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah.
So that goes with the family photo.
And I guess in that case, instead of best friends, they were brothers.
Siblings, yeah.
Twins.
Oh, what if they were twins?
And we also didn't have a strange residue that glows. We didn't really.
That was just some weird mold.
Yeah. You might want to.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, you might want to go to the doctor, mushrooms. Nathan.
It was ooze, and that's what made them deer people.
Yeah, there we go.
Where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were.
Or he inhaled some weird spores, and that made him
a zombie. It made him hallucinate the Joker in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start with the dog-eared copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to take lead, but
no, go for it.
The dog-eared copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Casey, and we're saying Casey?
Yeah.
Casey, as a child, loved that book. Because he loved it and he was a bit of an artist, he painted a realistically rendered door painting on the wall.
Because he didn't have a wardrobe.
Yes, exactly.
So he had to make a door.
So he had to make his own door.
Yeah.
It had a very ornate frame around it that he saw on the family's mirror that was in their hall.
Yeah.
He just took it from the world around him. Then something came out of the door.
What does this one say?
That's signs of forcible entry. So that goes with the crowbar. That goes later. Something came out of the door.
I mean, it doesn't need to go with crowbar. It could be that's like it broke through the door.
Okay, yeah. So we'll go with the signs of forcible entry next, which was the forcible entry is coming into the house rather than into the door.
Okay.
So the signs of forcible entry, maybe if we inspect the door frame, we can see it splinters out instead of
in.
Yeah.
Maybe something that came in was some kind of antlered creature.
Yes.
Like the Kool-Aid Man.
Which is why Casey started drawing.
That's
antlers.
that's what I think that's what we were talking about.
Can I offer a suggestion just for flavor with the mirror? What if the family had this mirror and there was something up with the mirror that was weird, and Casey saw stuff in the mirror, but he can't get into the mirror, right? So you got to create a door, and that's why he recreated the frame.
Yeah.
So it's like the exact same thing of trying to get into the mirror.
Perfect child logic too.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that.
So
the creature was talking to him from the mirror and be like, "You need to make me a door. I want to come in."
Yeah.
And he disguised himself as Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah, that's why he had antlers.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mr. Tumnus had antlers.
No,
but
I think
maybe
he might have had like a little
mini
nose
ones,
of fun.
like mini
Yeah.
ones.
He disguised himself as a legally distinct but similar to Mr. Tumnus.
Or he was just a deer thing and
that called himself
That was
Mr.
the-
Tumnus.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
being a kid, he was like, "Oh, it's Mr. Tumnus. I
Yeah.
can't tell the
Yeah,
difference between a deer and a
Yeah,
Fawn.
Yeah,
Fawn.
yeah, exactly. So the deer creature broke in and stole the family, which is, well, let's put the photo album there as a
He did a reverse Goblin King.
yes.
Stole a family instead of a baby.
Yeah. So he's
to the woods."
that's where the photo album comes in because all of the pictures on the photo album disappeared because that photo album was taken before Casey was born. Let's say they went to a summer camp.
It was
Or the-
summer camp 93.
Oh,
So it was the year before they disappeared.
right. So he would have been okay. So Casey was off at a
the one
different summer
taking
camp.
the photos, and it's of his like brother and his two brothers.
Yeah.
Or two
Brother and
siblings.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of goes with the whole family disappeared.
The other thing that you could work in with that is that the pictures, because they didn't show stars here, again, there were no
Right.
constellations that you recognized. Maybe it's stars on the other side. So maybe there was a period of time where Casey like went to visit the creature. And then he was like, I want you to come
Well,
live
that's
with
maybe
me.
that's
I
the
want you to
hopscotch.
stay."
Maybe
I do have one thought too.
They
I
were
like
playing-
that.
But you have to keep
Mhm.
me secret from your family.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was gonna say the photo album marked Camp 93 all empty could be that the deer thing didn't take everyone all at once, took
Mm.
the kids first,
Mhm.
and then the parents distraught because they've lost their children
Mhm.
somehow.
But they wouldn't be distraught 'cause
Have
they
ru-
forgot their children.
Distraught because they lost their kids, took all the photos out of the photo album. They didn't want to look at them anymore,
Mm.
and have like
Or they were
Remove
using
them.
them for like, I don't know, some kind of.
Have you seen this child?
yeah.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I don't know. We can hand wave some
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So what else you got?
And then I think the hopscotch in the attic with the antlers scorched into the video case are just part of
The creature kind of like
creature-
starting to put its mark on the world.
Yeah. So
yeah.
they had the hopscotch drawn in the attic, maybe not for literal hopscotch, but
Mhm.
for like marbles or something.
Mhm.
And then the antler showed up there to talk to Casey,
Mm.
kind of like to try to communicate with him. And the same as maybe the video case is just a generic video case that they were using for his favorite video or something.
Mhm.
So those go together.
And then you were taking out the comic books.
Yeah, I think we were going to try to say that, no, we said the comic books was the proof that they were siblings.
Oh, right. Okay.
And
And
the family
third-
photo with the third child
Right.
is
For their
That's
siblings.
how you
proof
know
they were
it's Casey.
siblings,
Yeah.
is how we know it's Casey.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And then the crowbar is just from him trying to get
yeah,
back
you can
into
put the
there.
crowbar in.
Yeah.
That's fine. So how many clues is that you got?
10.
Okay.
Cool.
So you have a +4. Who would like to roll?
I'll roll
Should
one
I?
die.
I'll roll another. 7
+4.
plus 4, 11.
So on an answer a question, on a 10+, the answer is correct, and the opportunity can be pursued. So you're correct about what happened. Casey was the third Rappaport child, and his family got pulled into some kind of interdimensional portal when he was 10 years old. And then he sold his memory of his family, or at least that they were his family,
Mhm.
to the creature because the creature refused to take him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was being punished. I don't know. So to resolve...
Fairies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Fae folk have their own
Yeah.
way of doing things.
Who knows why they do what they do?
So all you need to do to resolve the mystery is tell Casey what happened.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So we can do a quick scene where you like phone him up. Do you want to do that here at the house? You just tell him to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an in-person conversation.
Yeah, this isn't a phone call.
Okay. So you knock on the door because the doorbell doesn't work.
Yep.
There's no power.
Yeah.
And Casey's at the door and he says, hey, that was pretty fast. I thought you might take a couple days, but
I thought you might take a few episodes for this.
what did you find? You said you found something, but you wanted to talk in person. What did you find?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we take him into the living room, sit him down, and just lay it all out for him.
Yeah, we have like the photograph, so we can show the photograph
Yeah.
of basically himself.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And
To show him the comic books to like maybe that jogs his memory
Yeah.
of the handwriting.
yeah, maybe kind of lead with like take out a comic book and be
Yeah.
like, hey, does this look
Does this
familiar
look-
to you?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever like read a copy when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That looks familiar. I don't. What does that have to do with Elliot and his family, though.
And then we hand over the family photo with the third child.
And it's him.
Yeah. And does anyone in this look familiar to you?
I think he just looks stunned, and you can see that the memories are flooding back. And he realizes what happened. Like, this all happened, and he's just sitting there, like, having a flashback memory.
Brain download.
Yeah, exactly. And just, like, it kind of starts freaking out and is like, well, God, how... This was all my fault. This was all my fault. I did this. Oh my God. And he just starts crying.
Oh no. Oh no.
So Ep's still in the room. He's holding the Cheetos. No. He's like, well, bummer.
Out of the darkness, the screen of an old CRT TV, boxy and heavy, flickers on. On it, you can see a man. A man so big he fills the flickering frame. He's wearing a suit the color of good butter, a cowboy hat, and a bolo tie shaped like the sun. Takes a drag on his cigarette and says, "It might surprise you to learn that I am an enthusiast of the tarot. The first card in the major arcana is the Fool. It depicts a young man, blind to the realities of the world, stepping off a precipice. The Fool is said to augur a new beginning in life, a new journey, and importantly, on the need to trust the hidden forces of the universe to guide you on your way. I do wonder what will happen to these new fools, these beautiful fools who have traveled all the way back to the enchanted land of their youth in the search of the truth. What will happen now that they have stepped off the precipice? Will the universe set them down gently, or will they simply plummet into oblivion?" The TV turns off suddenly, leaving a hot, white dot in the center of the screen.
If you want to hear more from the Deep Lake Latchkeys, subscribe to our Patreon. Next week, we will be uploading the talkback episode that includes our thoughts on the mystery and even more of the character creation process from public access. Head on over to patreon.com/dungeonpunks and you can join for only $5 a month. Or you could also rate and review the podcast, tell a friend, chat with us on Discord or on any of our social medias. All of the links to those are in the description to this week's episode. Dungeon Punks was produced by Kirk Hamilton for the 604 Podcast Network.
You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.